Hey, what's up guys? I am TPB Robinizer and welcome to MPC Season 2 Week 6. This is the team builder for Dubzeii. Okay. So let's get started. So his team is Tapu Fini, Scizor, Dragonite, Roserade, Meloetta, Dhelmise, Crocodile, Alamomola, Hitmonlee, Talonflame, and Lycanroc Dusk. And my team, since I haven't done one of these in a while, is Tapu Koko, Kartana, Titar, Lando I, Komao, Volcarona, Togekiss, Tornadus I have double genies, which I actually do like a lot. Selgor, we got two more. Gastrodon, and last but not least is, oh boy, alright. Oh, alright, well, I'll get that in a second, but his team, when you look at it, is quite scary, in the way that, like, it's very defensive and offensive at the same time. It's pretty hard to deal with. Let's see, last mon is Dubzeii. How could I forget Dubzeii? But his team is hard to deal with offensively and defensively because he has Tapu Fini, he has Meloetta, he has Dhelmise, he has Aloe, he has a couple fat mons there, and that can be hard to deal with. But then offensively, like Scizor, Dragonite, Roserade, Crocodile, Hitmonlee, T-Flame, Lycanroc. Very, very hard to deal with. Sorry if there's some background noise. But, okay, let's just get into the team builder. So first up, you see Bandy Kartana, and this thing runs through his team. And I can run Adamant this week and still outspeed everything that I would with the Jolly set. So, like, dual stab plus Sacred Sword plus knockoff. Like, okay. Fini, Leaf Blade. Scizor does not appreciate Sacred Sword. If it's a defensive set, it's probably his best check to this mon though, so watch out for that. I'll watch out for that. Dragonite, Smart Strike, Roserade, Smart Strike, or knockoff. They like kill that thing. Meloetta, knockoff, or not Sacred Sword, it's part Psychic. Dhelmise, knockoff. Crook, Leaf Blade, Aloe, Leaf Blade, Hitmonlee, Leaf Blade, T-Flame, knockoff, and then Lycanroc, Leaf Blade, or Smart Strike, or Sacred Sword. Basically, this thing, it actually breaks every single Pokemon on his team. If he brings the Talonflame or the Lycanroc, this thing won't be able to sweep because those things outspeed and hit him with the fire move. So if those two come, I will not be able to sweep. They don't have the best matchup, however they could come just for this Pokemon alone. But yeah, Kartana's here. It puts the offensive pressure on everything, and I think it should do very, very well. Moving on is Tapu Koko, choice specs. This could outspeed Talonflame, but I said fuck it, it's not worth it. I have modest specs. Outspeed everything but the Talonflame, and his immunity is Crocodile, which will fall over to a Dazzling Gleam. And then I can just freely spam T-Bolt. Like, oh my god, Fini, Aloe, goodbye. Dhelmise is his best thing to take this on, other than the Crocodile if I'm locked into an electric move. Basically, this thing is just gonna spam T-Bolt. I think Roserade's 100% coming to this matchup, and if he keeps the Roserade healthy, then it can take this thing on pretty well, which is a shame for me. But okay, I honestly, there's not much to say. Just modest specs, Koko. Let's move on. Okay, I'll save that for last. Next up is this Heat Togekiss set. The EVs are just enough speed to outspeed a no speed. Ooh, what is this? Does he have a base 90? Meloetta maybe? I think Roserade maybe? One of those two. And I think that's actually very, very worth it, because if I can outspeed them, I take them on very well. If I don't outspeed them, I don't take them on well at all. Okay, and then max HP, a bit of special attack, and then some defense investment. So, this is a Babiri Berry Togekiss because Roserade I expect to die early. I expect it to like come in, do a shit ton of damage to my team, and then eventually die to like Lando or Torn, which I both have in the back, or Kartana. And so I have a Babiri Berry to take on Scizor, which is the other main threat. Barring Lycanroc, obviously. That thing will just obliterate me. But Scizor I take on very, very well. Because like the Babiri Berry makes it so I take 0. After Nasty Plot, Scizor will die. Or it should die. And then I have Sub Roost. Okay. Roost is just here for longevity. Air Slash, that's my main attack. I can probably flinch some Slowmons. And then Sub is here. It was between Sub and Flamethrower, because Flamethrower lets me be an insta-check to Scizor. It's gone. But Sub, this Sub is weird. Sub does two things for me. Alright. Talonflame, not Talonflame, Alomomola. If I can get in... Excuse me, I'm sorry. If I can get in on Aloe, I can sub up and, like, just abuse that so hard, but I have a Coco and a Kartana. Aloe might not come. It probably won't come, actually. And then the other spot where it can be good is just with Dragonite. If it's a Z-Fly set with D-Dance, EQ, and then some last utility move, like, that doesn't do much damage to me, like, if it's not T-Punch or Ice Punch, or if it's, like, Roost, then I could, if he uses his Z-Fly, I can sub up, and he won't be able to hit me with EQ or the normal fly, and just abuse that. And just, if I, like, force a switch on, like, the Delmise, then I could sub up on that, too. But this thing is not really here to be a sweeper. It's more here as, like, a... You know what? No, this is here to be a sweeper. It's here to be a sweeper in a weird position where his team, like, gets weakened down, and this thing's bulk can just make it push through his team. I have a more traditional sweeper in the back, which I think will honestly just be able to do a lot of work. But yeah. I am sorry, I'm tired. I woke up recently. But yeah, I hope this Togekiss can do a bit of work. And let's move on. Lando, like I said, this is a speedy rock set, not an offensive rock set, a speedy rock set. EQ, like, okay, so this thing is sorta here as oh boy, it's one of my better checks to Roserade, because EQ does a surprising amount of damage to that Pokemon with no investment. And then I have Rocks and U-Turn for the utility, and then Defog, just in case he gets too many spikes up. No, spikes aren't an issue to my team. If I need to get Rocks off the field, I have 2 Mons weak to Rocks, and those are my main Mons. But then 3 of the Mons of my team are immune to spikes, and then 4 are immune to T-spikes, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah. This thing's just here. Speedy, enough speed to outspeed Roserade. Not enough speed to outspeed Crocodile, because I don't see a Crocodile being, like, speedy unless it is scarfed, and that will outspeed me anyways. And then just a bit of SPDF investment to take on Roserade better. Take some hits from Feeny or Aloe potentially, or Meloetta. But okay, moving on. Next up, this mon is a tank. This is Max SPDF AVT with just a bit of speed to outspeed a no-speed Scizor. Okay, Stone Edge, Fire Punch, Crunch, Rock Tomb. This last slot right here was a bit of an issue. I could have run Rock Tomb, Pursuit, or Ice Punch. I decided against Ice Punch because with the Dragonite, if I can Rock Tomb it, then it doesn't get the speed boost. It does not take on Coco or Kartana if I can weaken it, or I can just Stone Edge it outright if it has previous damage on it and Oko it. Fire Punch because honestly Scizor is one of his better checks to this Pokemon, other than the Feeny, of course. Feeny's coming in and it is hard walling this mon. But this thing, I can potentially catch a Scizor on the switch if Feeny is too low to switch in on me. And yeah, Crunch is there just for stab, strong damage against most things. Then the other potential move over Rock Tomb was Pursuit, which I'm iffy about because I would love to Pursuit some things in this game, but I think Rock Tomb's a much safer bet. So yeah, so okay, Max SPDF AVT-TAR, this thing takes on everything. Any of his special attackers are just nullified. Meloetta, Focus Blast I think does like 50, and that's a 4 times effective move from a like 128 base special attack. Aloe, your Scald's doing like 2. Let's see, Roserade, worst case scenario is Life Orb Leaf Storm, and that is doing, I think it takes 4 hits to kill, and he will be dead by then. This thing, it's just, it's a pivot. It's a pivot against Roserade, honestly. Roserade is monster. It takes on my team so well, and this is actually my best bet to take it on. So, oh, this is weird. Just, it's weak to Roserade stab, but it's my best check, and it should be able to take it on well. Rock Tomb should be some solid hidden tech in this game. And yeah, let's move on to the last mod, the Wincon, the Sweeper, Tornadus, Taunt with Resto Chesto, bulk up acrobatics with a good amount of defense investment. Okay, Roserade is a special attacker. That's one of the few things this beats, or that can take on this. Roserade, Feeny, Meloetta are his special attackers, and I outspeed all of them. And max HP with a good amount of defense, because like he doesn't have good special attackers, period. But his physical attackers are very strong, and I can take them on fairly easily with this investment. Just max HP with a bit of defense. I can bulk up in the face of a lot of mons on his team. Delmise, I can bulk up in front of. Scizor, depending on the set, I can bulk up in front of. Dragonite, I can. It'll be weird. A Dragonite versus bulk up war, or a Dragon Dance versus bulk up war would be pretty weird. We'll see how that goes. Talonflame, Hitmonlee, I can bulk up against Lycanroc. No. Lycanroc is an issue. To my team in general, Lycanroc is an issue, so we're gonna have to take care of that. Like, I had to sacrifice being strong against the Lycanroc. I had to sacrifice that to be able to take on the bigger threats. So that thing's gonna be scary if it comes. And whew. Oh boy, I hope I can pull through if he does bring that. If I lose, he will probably have Lycanroc on his team. But yeah, let's I guess I will see you guys in a couple seconds with the battle. Peace. Hello and welcome back to MPC week 6 against Dubzeii. So alright, let's get into it. So team preview. Very different team from what I expected. There's a Feeny, which I expected, Crook expected, Roserade expected, Lycanroc expected. Then there's the Meloetta and the Dubzeii, which, like, I didn't expect them at all, honestly. But let's get into it. So I led with my Landorus, as he led with his Crocodile, and he goes for Rocks, and I U-turn. And here's where it's a bit weird, because my speed tier is 308, which outspeeds a max speed Roserade, but does not outspeed a max speed Crocodile. So we did not outspeed him there. And then on turn 2, as I U-turn into my Kartana, he hard switches, so he could be Scarfed Rocks. And the Roserade dies to a crit. If it was an offensive Roserade, it does not matter. If it was a defensive Roserade, it did matter. And after the battle, we found out he was a defensive Roserade, but it got to it, KO'd, and outsped anyway, so not too much of a big deal. As he brings in his Lycanroc Dusk, scares me out with Fire Fang as I go into land. Oof. Fire Fang does not do much. And as the Feeny comes in, I believe I defog. I do. I defog away the rocks for my Torn and Coco and Togekiss as I U-turn into said Togekiss, and he reveals to be the Specs Ice Beam. And this is a huge threat to my team. It's not a huge threat to my team when it's locked into Ice Beam, but when it's locked into Hydro Pump or Moonblast, it is. And, well, he goes for Ice Beam here, and we're frozen. So, Togekiss, you're not doing much this game. Togekiss, it didn't really do much this game. I found out this is a timid Feeny, so Togekiss would for sure be slower than that. It does well against the Dubzeii, and if I got to Roost Up, it could take on the Crook if it's a Choice Scarf, if it's locked in anything that isn't Stone Edge, and the Meloetta doesn't do too much to me. But unfortunately, we get frozen. As I go into T-Tar because he is choice locked into Ice Beam, and he does 9. And here I pull a double into my Kartana, and Crook comes in because that's what I thought would switch in. And here I can either Smart Strike or Leaf Blade or Knock Off. Knock Off would be the hard call out on the Dubzeii. Smart Strike's a bit of a middle ground, and Leaf Blade is just, hey, I'm killing your Crocodile. So he reveals to be the Scarfed Rocks and does a good chunk with Knockoff, as Smart Strike just misses out on the KO. But we're able to finish him off here, get 2 kills with Tana, and I decide this is worth saving. It still outspeeds three of the mons on his team and Oko's them, so I sack off my Togekiss. It's useless this game, now that it's frozen. And I bring in my Coco, and I Volt Switch, and the Dubzeii here takes 18. And that shows me he's max Spadef Assault Vest, so he's going to fall over to a knockoff. He dies, and I decide, as this comes in, I'm going to let my Kartana go down. And bring in my Coco. And as he reveals to be the Scarf Stone Edge, I finish him off with the Volt Switch. And bring in Tornadus. Tornadus can win the game here. Meloetta comes in. I decide to taunt it as it's a potential Calm Mindset. Might be able to bring it back. As Coco won't be able to take it on him. That's the thing that outspeeds. And Lando won't be able to either. It's not offensive. And he reveals that he's Relic Song into Pirouette form, which is better for me. Because now I can get a bulk up off. As he goes for any hit and does not do much damage at all. And then I can rest up and I'll kill this thing, no matter what, and then Feeney just loses. So I go for my bulk up, and you'll see here he goes for a return. It shouldn't do anything unless it gets a crit. And Meloetta wins. Torn won the game, but no matter what I do here, if I go Coco, he brings in his Tapu Fini, sacks it, brings in Meloetta again with the sped. Alright, I'll just let it play out. Then he would bring in his Meloetta with the Sped F boost and go for Relic Song as I sack one of my Mons. And then because I decided to bring my Specs Coco, it will not outspeed this Meloetta, so basically Meloetta just won from there outright from there because of the crit, which was super unfortunate, but you know, that's Mons. That's how Mons goes, and it sucks, but we're gonna try and bring it back against Hank. Week 7, Hank, I'm coming for blood. And we're at an unfortunate 2-4, which means it's tough for us to get into playoffs because Dubzeii is the division leader. He was 3-2 before this match, and now he is 4-2. And instead of 3-3, where I would also be at 3-3 and we'd be tied, but now he has a huge jump on me, and I'm gonna have to win a lot of games to get into playoffs. I'm fighting with. This sucks. I'm fighting with for the 2 playoff spots. I'm fighting with literally everyone besides one person. I'm fighting everyone in the conference besides one person. There's Noah, there's Ray, who is the new replacement coach, there's Jeff, and there's Brandon, and there's myself. So there's 5 of us, and there's only 2 playoff spots, and Noah has a jump on everyone because he is 4-2. So he is 2 games ahead of every single person. So he's very likely to get into playoffs, and then that leaves 1 playoff spot for the 4 of us. And who knows, if Jordan somehow, if he puts his game together, he's 1-5, where the rest of us are 2-4. He could pull it back. So we're in a very tough spot for playoffs, but we're gonna try and pull it back. And yeah, I will see you guys all next week with Hank, and when this week is coming out, PWC Week 1 should be coming out, so stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Peace.